Good morning, Newcastle, and a very pleasant welcome to Nctv45's Newswatch. And hopefully, you have that first cup of coffee as you're embarking on some showers on the outside. A little dark, dreary. However, it's 44 degrees. And look for this podcast later. I want to show you something that I consider really amazing. As I noticed it the other day, and I have to give a shout out, but I'm going to tell you a little bit later. Happy birthdays going out to, are you ready? Russ Carley, Missy Rogers, Mike Kubelis, Marie Bondi, Jolene Staff, Billy Lefram, and I messed that up, sorry, Candace Freed, Paul Missy Rogers, and Ronnie Olson, Michael Ross, Jeff Peluso, Amy Rispoli, Walter McClendon, William James Cummings, Jack Koza, and Terry Wanstatler. So get the second piece of birthday cake and another cup of coffee. Celebrate all weekend long and just have a great day. Lots to get to in this Newswatch as we go flying forward. And yesterday, a big news day also. So here we go. First, we give you the AP rundown. The attacks in Atlanta, they're mourning that. You'll hear more about that. And now there's conflicting things on the stories of, I want to call it prejudice or hate. And that's a bad thing. Men charged with killing 8 people in Georgia, and that's what that's talking about. There's this mini war. Who deserves credit? Biden leans into pandemic politics, and they're talking about that, and the fact that Donald Trump isn't getting any credit. And here's the thing. The vaccine was developed under the Trump administration. And a lot of the layout of getting everybody vaccinated was done under the Trump administration. So you'll be hearing a lot about that today. The EU regulator reviews AstraZeneca shot and blood clot links. Republicans, they're talking about immigration border surge. So all that going to be hitting you today. I ask you to be a little discerning as you listen to the news, and perhaps try to listen to both sides, as that's going to be a huge issue today. And you know, when you watch or listen to the news, do it with a little common sense, because there are some reporting that's going on by the people putting out the press releases, the pandering. It's really ridiculous. Let me give you an example. 3,000 new cases. Of that, 1,500 were hospitalized. So the other 1,500, apparently, they were okay. Of that 1,500, 280, 300 put in intensive care. That gets you down to 1,200. And if you divide it out by 60, even 67, it goes down under 20 cases per county. Now, I'm going to show you what spin is. So, that from the PA Department of Health, and here's how they spin it. Pennsylvania early warning dashboard. Yeah, the dashboard says that between the 5th and the 11th, give you the number of cases, positivity, 5.7%, and 21 counties, substantial transmission. Well, you know, you've got to go across all the counties. You can't just pick and choose. And based on that, this includes levels of community transmission as based for the recommendations for pre-K to 12 to determine instructional models. That's what they're saying. Data on cases 5 to 18 causes the report visiting a business among potential locations where exposures may be harmful and travel recommendations. I don't think at this stage of the game, the government, whether it's state or federal, has to be Big Brother watching you. I think we got this. But you have to be very careful when that news comes out. And I'm not going to pick on one agency as opposed to another. Do a little watching of what they're reporting. Watch more than one source. And if one source talks about it and the other doesn't, then you have to really discern what's being said. Pennsylvania's COVID vaccination update. Pace accelerating, more than 1.3 million people vaccinated. So we're getting to the point where people are getting vaccinated and things are looking up. The Department of Health issues new order requiring skilled nursing facilities to complete COVID vaccination survey. See, they're licensed with the state, so the state then gets to tell them what to do. Now, that's a dangerous, dangerous thing. They must turn in their survey by the 23rd. Due dates for responses to subsequent surveys requests will be determined by the department as needed. You know, it's a dangerous thing when you can't hear both sides. The Department of Agriculture, restaurant enforcement actions, this is the 18th, the 8th through the 14th. So they're still looking at this. They closed one restaurant all the way over in York County, but that's where the problems exist, in the eastern part of the state. We're doing quite fine out here, and they look like one size fits all. And that's a dangerous, dangerous way to go. Now, as we continue on, our hearts and prayers go out to those people affected by the tornadoes. I did want to say that about down south, because that is a big issue. You're going to see a lot on that on the local news today, and it looked bad. As one of the news stations came on last night, they had many live shots of the actual tornadoes going across. Now, here he goes again. The Wolf administration launches a regional roundtable health council focused on promoting health equity and reducing disparity across Pennsylvania. Haven't seen it happening. Okay. But, the election's coming up, and the governor of Philadelphia is out there pandering. Why not? Can't let any good crisis go to waste. As Newswatch continues on, a couple more stories that might be important to you as we pick up what's happening. The state commission responds. There isn't a rise in this, but they're pandering to it in Harrisburg. See, if you create division, then you have a better chance of staying in power. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Talking about racism and trying to tie it to what happened in Atlanta, Georgia. But other media sources are reporting that the individual that they apprehended, the suspect, had these other problems. And it wasn't aimed at that. So just think about that and get the different news sources. And for you, be welcoming to everybody. That's the best way you can go. Treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Enough of all that, and let's get to sports. Well, the tournament about to begin today, after a heck of a break. Last night in the NBA, Cleveland beat Boston 117-110. It was San Antonio over the Chicago Bulls 106-99. Now, elsewhere, they had some playing games. Richmond topped Toledo 76-66. Western Kentucky, they beat St. Mary's 69-67. That was truly a close game. In the NHL, Vancouver and the New York Rangers and Edmonton and the the Vegas Knights and the LA Kings, all winners. Let's go to the Cedars Sports Corner and we'll be right back. We're back, 44 rainy degrees outside, and as you take a look, you can see just how dark it is as just the reflections coming off the window. We're going to get more to sports and everything going on right after we keep you up to date on what's happening with Newswatch. And here are some things that you probably should take into consideration. Pennsylvania highlights transportation innovations designed to save lives and create efficiencies. Yasmin Graham, he's ahead of the PennDOT, and some of these names are very difficult to say. Pennsylvania's unwavering, advancing innovation and its enduring success to provide and maintain a safe, efficient transportation network. Isn't that great? He said a whole bunch of nothing in one sentence. Oh, well, just remember, here he is. Governor Wolf, deadline extension approval for low-interest loans for survivors of flood from Tropical Storm Isaiah. They've extended it to 2021. The tropical storm hit Berks County and Philadelphia in 2020. Governor of Philadelphia, he's right on it. Agriculture Department to business travelers, don't take it with you. It's the spotted lanterman permit. Now, apparently, 1.2 million people across 26,000 plus companies across the U.S. and Canada have learned how to recognize the spotted lantern flies and keep them from getting destruction, pests, a ride to a new home. The permit is required for business travel regardless of the destructive pests to ride, regardless of the type of cargo, since hitchhiking is primarily way of invasive insect spreads. You know, have you ever noticed that some of the things they talk about you can never see? You know, it's just, ooh, this is out there. That's why I tell you to get a couple different sources. This came in from the State Department of Agriculture, and now they're saying that you have to have a permit if you're taking stuff with you and you're in the agriculture business. Freedoms just continue to erode away. I understand that if there's this spotted lantern, they should come out. They should have cover the whole story. Tell us what's exactly out there. Not hide it. Well, folks, now it's time to take a look at weather. And it's rainy and wet. I'm going to do an update a little bit later for one of our sponsors, and I'm going to do it live. Now, they're saying there's a 100% chance of rain. That could be because it's raining. 93% humidity. Now, I don't get that because it should be like 100% humidity if it's raining. Wind speed east at 9, Visibility 2.5 miles, wind chill 39. We just got to get through this rain today and things will be a-okay. So let's check out Lawrence County 45 weather, sponsored by DSB's Shenango. Go out there. They have some great food. Really, really good. It is tremendous. And our other sponsors aren't too bad either. You know, if you've been watching Cedars, if you've been watching Crane Room, they're pretty doggone good. Check them all out. You got a smorgasbord right here in Newcastle. So we'll be right back after this. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Nctv45. Here's hoping you stay warm, dry, and make sure that you tell a friend. And have a friend tell a friend about Nctv45. They'll be glad you did. And when they say, I don't watch a lot of TV, why, you can tell them this. Yes, Nctv45. We're available anytime on your time. A train that runs on your schedule, that's Nctv45 right here. Broadcasting from the Majestic. Now make sure that you get that second cup of coffee and have a super day in what I call the greatest castle in the world in the county of Lawrence. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.